I'm making this video because a lot of people don't seem to know the difference between insecurity and humility. And in my view, they're actually quite different. So I guess I'll just read how I think different kinds of people would think. I think a confident person, he thinks, I'm good, I'm great, it's awesome that I'm so good and so great. An insecure person thinks, I'm not good enough, and it's awful. A humble person, if he does something badly, he'll think, maybe I'm not good enough, and that's okay. And the difference is, I suppose, both confidence and insecurity come from pride, which is finding reasons to try to, when you think a lot about yourself, when you think that you're very important and you try to come up with reasons to think that you're important. Whereas humility is basically just trying to have an accurate understanding of yourself, or not thinking about yourself altogether too much. And pride is a prerequisite to insecurity because you can't feel bad about yourself unless you first think that you're important. If you don't think you're altogether that important and you notice that you didn't do something very well, you're just not going to care very much. So a humble person, if he does something good, he's just like, whatever. If he does something bad, he's like, oh, oops. I guess he probably has the attitude that whatever the outcome, I am what I am. Maybe not in so many words, but yeah. So I made this little chart. I think humility and pride is in one axis. In my view, humility means you have that you have an accurate understanding of yourself. So there ought to be some limit to how humble you can be, because there's a limit to how little you can, how accurate your understanding is of yourself, and how little you can think of yourself in a special way. Whereas I guess pride could be unlimited in my view. But anyway, your psychology has to fall somewhere in this triangle. Pride is a prerequisite both to confidence and insecurity. So the more confident or the more insecure you are, therefore the more proud you are. And your ability to feel insecurity or confidence goes down as you become more humble. Because it is true, whatever the outcome, you are what you are. Not sure what else to say about that, but yeah. And I guess this is probably why a lot of people try to teach their children to be confident, and I don't like that. I regard it as the same thing as trying to teach them to find excuses to feel good about themselves. So that's an example would be participation trophies, where they think better about themselves than they actually are in an effort to make them feel good. Well, when real life comes and smacks you in the face and you see that you aren't as special as you thought you were, you're going to feel insecure. What you should really be doing is teaching your children to have an accurate understanding of their abilities. And in this case, they're not going to be surprised about anything. They're not going to regard themselves as being, they're not going to have an inaccurate picture of themselves, and therefore, they're just, whatever happens, they're not going to be that surprised by it or upset by it. Anyway, that's all I have to say.